Metro 2033 is a first-person shooter slash survival horror video game based on a successful series of novels. In this video I will give you a full recap of the storyline in this game, so be aware of the spoilers ahead. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe my channel. In 2013, a nuclear war had devastated the Earth, wiping out billions of lives. Among the affected nations is Russia, including the now desolate wasteland of Moscow. A handful of survivors managed to hide in the metro system, salvaging spare parts and growing mushrooms for food. Animals such as rats, birds and others are mutated into horrifying monsters, while the air in many areas that humans breathe becomes heavily irradiated and impossible to survive without a gas mask. While there's a constant state of war between the communists and the Nazis, both trying to promote their radical ideologies, bandits are stealing, killing and looting in the metro tunnels, even keeping hostages to gain bullets, which are used as currency. 20 years later, in 2033, Artyom, an orphaned Russian man born just days before the world was destroyed, is accompanied by a man named Miller on a journey to the near uninhabitable surface to destroy the Dark Ones. As they arrive on the surface, the group links up with the two rangers that are equipped with repurposed truck. Not long afterwards, a swarm of large mutant bots known as demons attacks them. During the battle, the car is destroyed, both unnamed rangers are killed, and Artyom is seemingly killed by a dive-bombing demon. Then we go back in time 8 days earlier, in which Artyom is awakened back in his home metro station called Exhibition. In Exhibition, Artyom and his adopted father Alex travel through the station hospital, where they learn of Battalion's fate after a battle with a mysterious new mutant species, the Dark Ones. They meet up with Hunter, another of the Rangers. Shortly after Hunter enters Exhibition, though, it is attacked by a group of mysterious creatures. Artyom is persuaded to leave his home and seek help from the rest of the metro. Hunter gives Artyom his dog tags and tells him to present them to his superiors in Polis, the capital of the metro, before disappearing while tracking the Dark Ones. After leaving Exhibition and arriving to a nearby station, Riga, Artyom meets a drifter called Bourbon. Bourbon offers to give Artyom his Kalash if he helps him to get through the tunnels towards Dry Station. After some dangerous trips through the metro and on the surface, Artyom and Bourbon reach Dry, where Bourbon is captured by bandits. While Artyom attempts to rescue him, Bourbon is killed by the bandit leader and vice versa. Almost immediately, however, Khan, a ranger associate, appears and guides Artyom from this point on. Khan guides Artyom through some of the most dangerous levels of the metro. After going through the tunnels, Khan instructs Artyom to go to the armory alone, where he will meet Khan's friend Andrew. Upon reaching the armory, Artyom is captured by communist soldiers but escapes with the assistance of an unnamed man. As Artyom is running for his life, he falls off the bridge and is grabbed and pulled into a hut by Andrew. Andrew then smuggles Artyom out of the armory and into the front line of the Nazis and communists. Artyom must fight his way through the front lines through both Nazi and communist soldiers. After fighting his way through, he is captured by the Nazis. Nazis prepare to execute Artyom, but before they can, Ullman and Pavel, both being rangers, appear and kill the Nazis. Artyom presents Hunter's token and Ullman tells Pavel to take Artyom to Polis and to meet up with him later. Pavel and Artyom steal an armored rail car and attempt to pass through the Nazi patrols, presenting themselves as Nazis. They are discovered and are chased down the metro tunnels by more armored rail cars, and even a Panzer. After successfully making it through the Nazi barrier, the two jump into another smaller trolley and proceed to the depot. Upon reaching the depot, the car is attacked by hordes of noziles. Pavel is killed and Artyom barely makes it out alive. Alone, Artyom reaches Hall Station, whose defenders recruit him to help them fight a huge battle against mutants. Then he meets a young boy whose uncle was killed by a Nosalis. Artyom carries the boy on his shoulders towards the surface, where he is reunited with the survivors of his settlement. From there, Artyom travels to the surface yet again and into Nazi stronghold, Black Station. Artyom fights his way through the surface outpost and Black Station, eventually meeting up with Ullman. The two then proceed to a nearby Polis. Upon reaching Polis, Artyom presents the token to Miller and tells him what happened to Hunter and the rise of Dark Ones. Miller brings Artyom to present his case to the Polis Council in an effort to obtain their support for a mission. However, the council dismissed the threat, telling they are not having enough resources and men that are needed for the eventual war against Nazis, and because they assume Artyom to be a suspicious commoner from some remote station. But Miller pledges his assistance to stop the Dark Ones and save the exhibition, along with the rest of the metro. He proposes that a mostly intact launch facility codenamed D6 can be used to eradicate the Dark Ones with the same fire that gave birth to their kind. The location to D6 was lost with the nuclear war, so the team must set out to the library, a massive archive where the D6 documents are hidden. Miller, Artyom and Danila, another ranger, go to the library. On the way, Danila is injured by a demon and must be taken back to Polis. Miller leaves Artyom on his own to find the documents leading to D6. As Artyom moves through the library, he encounters ape-like mutants called librarians. But using a technique that Miller taught him, Artyom is able to stare down some librarians and is able to find the D6 documents. When Artyom leaves the library, Miller and Ullman shows up in an armored car and take Artyom to Sparta, the first above-ground ranger base. Artyom sees Khan again for a moment, where he is warned about the path he is taking, and meets a small number of rangers, Boris, Vladimir and Stefan. On the way to D6, Artyom suffers a strange vision of a ranger, and then a dark one in a doorway made of metal bars, which walks backwards, seemingly towards the sun, while proclaiming a message of peace. This is not the first of Artyom's visions so far, but this one is the most vivid. After the vision, a small horde of Nosals attack the Rangers, but they escape and resume the journey to D6, during which Boris and Stefan are killed.
My friend, why?
After reaching D6, the remaining Rangers are searching for the missile command center. They find it and realize they need to activate the reactor to gain sufficient power to launch the missiles. Miller and Artyom proceed to the basement where the reactor is. Here, they meet the Biomass, a giant Hydis mutant that has attached itself to the reactor. Artyom has to manually pull the fuel rods from the reactor using a crane. After doing so, Miller and Artyom leave the injured Biomass, agreeing they will return later to finish it off. Together, Artyom and Miller take the missile guidance system to the surface and prepare the launch of the missiles. Back to the ending sequence of the prologue. Miller saves Artyom from a demon, and from this point on, Artyom and Miller fight their way through the hordes of Watchers towards Ostankio Tower. Reaching the tower, they start to climb. At the top, Miller is injured by a demon and leaves Artyom to ascend the rest of the way. Artyom reaches the top of the tower and installs a guidance system to swipe the Dark Ones off the face of the earth once for all. But the Dark Ones will attempt to stop him. They really start messing with his head and take him to a strange landscape deep within Artyom's subconscious. Artyom must evade the projections of several Dark Ones and make it to the end of a maze. At the end, however, he has a vision of Hunter, who tosses Artyom a revolver and repeats the Ranger's Codex. If it's hostile, you kill it. Artyom turns around and fires a revolver at the incoming Dark One, who pleads for Artyom to stop. Now Artyom kinda have second thoughts about the Dark Ones, as in the visions they clearly sending the message that they want peace and communication with the humankind. But it's too late to get a cold feet now, and Artyom just lets the Dark Ones be destroyed by the missiles, thinking wistfully about humanity's role in the world and the meaning behind the Dark One's visions. And that was the storyline of the Metro 2033. Well, actually, you can have two different endings of this game, but the one I gave you is canonical to the books, so let's stick to that one. In the other one, Artyom destroys the beacon and the missiles are never fired, and turns out that the Dark Ones just wanted to make peace with humans and communicate with us. Well, maybe they should figure out a better way, like, I don't know, sending a letter would be quite nice. Well, anyway, leave a thumbs up if you liked the video and let me know in the comment section which game would you like to be explained next.
I led my war protecting my family and friends, protecting my home, the Metro. We had won. But to this day, I wonder, when we burned the Dark Ones from the face of the earth, was something lost as well?